All right. Welcome, everyone. December 31st is when I am recording this, and it's nice outside. Nice for, December in Colorado. So, excited to practice outside. I'm going to share some greatest hits of the things I've learned in 2025, new variations on some old stuff. So, we're going to go through a little bit of an arc that is similar to the entire mixed movement arts curriculum. We start off with the reset work, which is all about the nervous system and the fascia, be able to regulate well, recover well from physical work. So that's the baseline. Know how to feel good in your body. Everything works better when we're feeling good. So reset, then we go into more specific mobility work, and then into movement complexity, movement freedom, all the play, improvisation stuff. So we're going to start with the stress reset from Human Garage. If I was going to say one thing from 2025, this might be the top one. So we'll start with it here. I'm going to take that right foot and step it over the left. And then take your right hand and put it underneath your left armpit. And then your free hand, give yourself a big hug here. From here, we're going to look over our right shoulder and twist the body around to the left. So my head can't go any further this way. My body can't go any further the other way. I'm finding this counter rotation. Key for this to work right. All right, so I'm going to say pull in your spinal pelvic block a lot. That means squeeze your sex organs, activate your perineum, pull your belly button to your spine. From here, we're going to do a stage breath. So we're going to think about inflating your torso like a big balloon. So we're going to purse the lips, big inhale. Breathe in more. Breathe in more, fill up your lungs all the way. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Rotating deeper on the exhales. Stage breath again. More. Rotate deeper. Exhale. One more time, big inhale. More, all the way full. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Good. Find that end range of motion. Stay here. See if you can get a little bit deeper. Breathe in the nose and out the mouth. Remember the spinal pelvic block and think about growing taller. Head right on top of pelvic floor. Relax your shoulders. I set the intention here to wring out stress, tension, trauma from the body. Good. From here, keep the arms and legs crossed. Unwind towards center. Now we're going to look to the other side. So head to the left, body twists all the way around to the right. Pull in the spinal pelvic block and grow taller. Stage breath. More. All the way full. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Again. More. Rotate deeper. Exhale. One more stage breath here. More. All the way full. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Rotating deeper while relaxing into the position. Feel your fascia opening up. Stress reset we're doing is shown to take 75 to 90% of stress out of the body in about 15 minutes. I think with practice, you can do it in less. One more big breath. Good. Slowly unwind towards center and free up your body. Shake it out a little bit and take a few steps in your space. So we walk in between the fascial maneuvers as a way to allow that to integrate into our system. Good. So this first movement, totally twisted. If you're seeing it for the first time, it is the most involved one with all the turns and things like that. It's this nice global alignment posture stress reset. So other ones can be done like 30 seconds. This one we spend more time in. Second side, left leg steps over. Left hand underneath, right hand, give yourself a hug. It can be here or you can set it on top. And let's look over our left shoulder and twist the body all the way around to the right. So basically almost like looking forward again. My head turned all the way and then my body turned all the way. Grow taller, pull in your spinal pelvic lock, and take a big stage breath, pursed lips in through the mouth. More, more, rotate deeper. Exhale. Again, more, more, rotate deeper. Exhale. One more time on the side, big inhale. More, more, even more, all the way. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Good. We'll do something a little different. So I want you to take your tongue and press it into your left cheek. Breathing in and out the nose. Relax your shoulders. Keep rotating deeper. Grow taller. Keep going. So the tongue fascia is connected. It goes all the way down around the heart, down to the pelvic floor, all the way down to your toes. So we're trying to open up the fascia everywhere in the body. Good. All right. Keep the arms and legs where they are, but unwind towards center. Now we're going to look over our right shoulder and twist the body around to the left. Spinal pelvic lock in as you grow taller. Stage breath. Inhale more. All the way in. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Again. More. More. Deeper. Exhale. One more stage breath here. More. More. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Take your tongue, press it into your right cheek. Find a tight spot if you can. Breathing in and out the nose. Relax your shoulders, rotate deeper into the position. Imagine you could wring stress and tension and trauma out of your body. This method is about teaching you to become your own self-healer, creating the conditions for healing to happen. One more big breath here. Good. So before we come out briefly, I'm just going to show you the intermediate variation. So there are a few things we can do from here. I like to take a slightly wider step with my left leg. So I'm going to step a little further. So when I bend my knees, I can be crossed at the knees. But first, keep your legs straight and just forward fold. The head is still going to the right, body to the left, sorry. And then from here, you could do stage breath, you could do breathing, nice forward bend. And then if you bend the knees, so I'm crossed at the knees instead of the ankles here, and I can use my elbow or whatever you can to torque, leverage yourself deeper into the position. And just for fun, let's do 6 big breaths in and out the mouth, then we'll finish with 1 stage breath. Be gentle if you need to. If you're feeling it, let's go for it. Really big breaths. In and out the mouth, times 6. Stage breath in, more, all the way in. Rotate deeper, hold as long as you can. Breathe when you need to. Exhale. Good, slowly come on out. Grab a wall if you're a little lightheaded, need some balance. And go for a walk. Notice how you feel after doing the first of 3 movements of the stress reset. Always feel more relaxed. It's like a relaxed but energized. I feel I used to have such a terrible ADHD procrastination. My focus has been sharp since doing this work. All right, so next up is, let's do the palette swipe. So let's take the right foot over the left, again, similar setup. Right hand on top of your left shoulder, and take your other hand across your body. So pulling your spinal pelvic lock, you do that for every fascial maneuver. And this one can be a little weird if you're doing it for the first time. You're gonna take your right thumb, and you're gonna go to the roof of your mouth, on the palate, just inside the right molars, swiping from right to left. We'll do it 6 times together. Upward pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Unwind the body and see if you notice a shift after that. My world always becomes a little more bright and vibrant. My head feels good, like more space, more relaxed up here. And I didn't feel much on the first couple times doing it. So be consistent for a week. Will be your best bet for this stuff. But yeah, we'll talk about the palate later. Our palates are shrinking because we eat soft, mushy foods all the time. And that impacts our breathing. So getting ahead of myself. Last one of the stress reset is anti-gravity. So I'm going to interlace my fingers, go to the back of my neck, and scoop the skin and fascia up. So back of the neck, scoop it up to the back of the head. Spinal pelvic lock in. And then look up with your head, chest. Bring your elbows high and wide. 3 big breaths in and out the mouth. Big breath in. Tuck the chin to the chest. Pull your elbows in. Keep tracking that skin in the back of your neck. Exhale. Now we're going to rotate just from the neck. So big inhale through the mouth. Rotating, looking up into your right, just from the neck. Exhale, center. Inhale through the mouth. Now rotate up into your left. Exhale, center. Inhale through the mouth. Up into the right. Exhale, center. Inhale. Left. Exhale, center. One more time each side. In. Right. Center. In. Left. Center. From here, keep tracking that skin in the back of your neck. If you lose it, just regrip it. No big deal. I'm going to do a slight bend of the knees and stick the butt out and drop down towards a skier squat. Think about your spine being long, so your neck is neutral. I'm not looking in front of myself. My elbows are wide. Now we're going to big inhale through the mouth. Rotate the whole body up and to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale. Whole body to the left. Exhale, center. 2 more times each side. In. Right. Center. In. Left. Center. In. Right. Center. In. Left. Center. Good, good, good. All right, now drop down to a deep squat. If you can, pull everything in. If that's not in the cards, you can sit down on a chair, Or you can stand up again, keep the chin tucked, and round your lower back. So try to create a big C with your spine. And just hang out there. If you're in the deep squat, let's do 3 big breaths in and out the mouth. Now keep your head low, but bring your hips up high. So find a forward bend. Keep trying to pull your head off. And you can do a little weight shifting side to side. Try to find some enjoyable sensations here. And let's do 3 more big breaths in and out the mouth. Good. Slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, keeping the chin tucked. Once you're standing up all the way, head is the last thing to go. We finish where we started. Head, chest, elbows all up towards the sky. Spinal pelvic lock in. 3 more breaths in and out the mouth. Good. Release. When I release, I just feel this like length in the spine, so much opening. Feels so good. So anti-gravity, it's a lot of people's favorite fascial maneuver. So let's go for a little walk. Let's find a figure 8 to walk in. Doesn't matter how big it is. Just using the figure 8 as a way to further integrate the good work we're doing here. Feels good to be back in Colorado. All right, so before we switch gears from the fascial maneuvers, I want to do 2 more favorites. So the stress reset's great. I like to start people in the stress reset because everyone's stressed these days. So if we can lower our stress and up our overall energy, it's gonna work out. So the investment you put into this sort of practice, the fascial maneuvers practice, I feel like pays off, 3-fold, 10-fold, as far as what you get for time put in. All right, let's do swinger. Nice and simple. Favorite one to keep the energy up throughout the day. So I'm gonna take my right hand across my body to the shoulder. It can be here. Personally, I like to go on the skin. It's optional. Take your free hand, go to your tricep, the back of the arm, and pull that skin and fascia down towards your elbow. And keep that locked the whole time. Head looks all the way to your right. Body goes all the way to your left. Find that end range of motion. Pull in your spinal pelvic lock and drop on down. Rotate a little deeper if you can. We'll do 6 big breaths, then 1 stage breath to finish. In and out the mouth. Here we go. Stage breath in. More. Pull deeper in. Exhale. Slowly come on out. Move the body around. Enjoy the sensation. That one makes my face buzz when I do the breaths. All right. Good. Second side. So swinger, named after things like a golf swing, baseball swing, this common diagonal fascial spiral that we're working on. Left hand, across the body to the shoulder, optional skin contact. Right hand, traction that skin down towards the elbow, keep it locked. Head goes all the way to the left, body all the way to the right, and bend the knees, spinal pelvic lock in. Just for fun, let's double the breaths this time. Let's do 12 big breaths in and out the mouth, followed by 1 stage breath. Here we go, on your own. Stage breath in. More. All the way in. Rotate deeper and hold. Exhale. Good, come on out. So a little moment of temporary breath intoxication. Yeah, I found the fascial maneuvers, which has breath work plus movement, the most effective way at accessing this internal pharmacy. You got stimulants, you got benzodiazepines, relaxers, muscle relaxers, opioids, endocannabinoids, all this good stuff in the system that you can unlock quite effectively. It's pretty easy stuff too. All right. Last of the fascial maneuvers for now. Maybe we'll do a few at the end. I'm gonna take my right hand to the base of my neck, same side. I'm gonna take my left hand, I'm going to grab it here, I'm gonna rotate that skin outwards. Keep that locked, bring it above your head. Look to your right, side bend your body away towards the left. Bend to the knees, spinal pelvic lock in. Let's do 9 big breaths in and out the mouth, then 1 stage breath to finish. Here we go, keep looking up. Stage breath in, more, rotate deeper in, exhale, roll on out, move the body around, integrate, enjoy the after effects. Feel now, if I take a big breath in, I can feel it more on the right side, the lung we just opened up. So anytime you do anything on the shoulders, you're opening up the lung fascia, breathing better emotional regulation. Second side, left hand, base of the neck. Right hand, grab that elbow, rotate it outwards, keep that locked. Bring it above your head, look to the left and side bend your body. Away, over to the right, spinal pelvic lock in, 9 big breaths in and out the mouth. Stage breath in, more, all the way in, side bend more. Exhale. Good. Whew. Every vertebrae in the top half of my spine just adjusted. All right, so that was the stress reset. Then a couple from the energizing series. I've given the nickname for swinger, overhead elbow torque, and a few other ones that nice to get the energy up. All right, so fascial maneuvers have become the new foundation. It makes everything else we do, it makes movement arts better. And for the past many years, the foundations have called the 4 S's. Shake, skin, spine, and the fourth one can either be a somatic practice or sea creature dance, is a nickname for the somatics. So I want to do kind of a bridge into some of that, going a little bit deeper into those with some new additions I've been enjoying. And I want to start with what Human Garage calls the fascial coffee. It's a particular sequence going with the flow of the fascia and the meridians that has a nice little balancing, stimulating effect. So super simple, takes 2 minutes. But first, let's bring a little heat into the hands. Back of the hands, the knuckles, middle knuckles and fingernails. And then let's clap. Take that percussion onto the body and to see how much of the body can you cover in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just take a moment and pause and float where you are. And just notice the little buzz that you get from that. Find yourself dissociating, some sort of contact with the skin. It can be more invigorating, percussive. It can also be as simple as like a havening type regulation thing. So start on the right arm. We're going to go down the inside of the arm, around the fingers, and up the outside of the arm. Down the inside, up the out. We do everything 3 times. And now let's go to the pinky on that same side and go from the pinky all the way to the ribs. Pinky to the ribs, pinky to the ribs. And just for contrast, see if you can notice a difference in your arms. It might be subtle, but if you're sensitive, you'll feel it. So that 6 little swipes that took 10 seconds makes a difference in your physiology and your nervous system. I think that's pretty cool. Second side, let's balance that out. Down the front, up, down and up, down and up. Pinky to the ribs, pinky to the ribs, pinky to the ribs. Now go down the front of your legs to the big toe and come up the middle, all the way to the pubic bone. Down the front, up the middle, down the front, up the middle. Now go to your pinky toe on the outside of the foot, outside of the leg, up to your ribs. Pinky toe to the ribs, pinky toe to the ribs. Same thing, but now heels to lower back. Heels to lower back. Grab your lower back and swipe out. 1, 2, 3. Same thing, back of the neck. 1, 2, 3. Go to your right hip, over your left hip, and then make circles in that counterclockwise direction. Eyebrows. So eyebrows, forehead, and brush the top of your head. 2, 3. And then you're going to do your eyes and your nose to your ears. 1, 2, 3. 2 fingers down your jawline to the chin. 1, 2, 3. Up the right side of your neck. Left side of your neck. Up, 2, 3. Middle neck. Up, 2, 3. And then the ones that go up your chest. So chest, up, up. Other side, up, up, up. And then brush your shoulders off. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just take a moment. Move around a little bit. See if you notice anything. Great if you do. No big deal if you don't. For a lot of these things, being consistent for a week, it really, really builds. There's an additive effect, cumulative effect. The more you do, the better it gets. Good. So that was a little stuff on the skin for now. Let's move into a short shaking practice. So come to standing, shift weight into your toes, ball of the foot, shift weight into your heels. And just a couple times back and forth, noting the edges and making it smaller until you settle right in the middle. Slight tuck of the tail. Sense a string on top of your head, suspending you up towards the sky. Tongue to the roof of the mouth. Relaxed face. Sense aliveness in your hands and feet. Imagine you can breathe through all of your skin in 360 degrees. And from here, start to introduce a small bounce, a small little shake. Think about bouncing into my ankles and finding this little elastic, up and down, vertical. And I gradually up the intensity dial until I find something that feels good. So it could always be more subtle, more gentle. And go in the other direction if you want to be more vigorous now and really let go of some tension. Full support. So this is the home base for shaking, is this up and down vertical shake, this qigong, standing meditation posture. And listen for the impulse, for other movement desires to come up. So Does my spine need to move a little bit? Do I need to shake out one side of my body? Do I need to be overall a little bit more like unpredictable, like fiery energy? And I can always settle back in to the simple up and down vertical shake. So one of, in the Joe Dispenza community, some of the most popular meditations are what he calls blessings of the energy centers. It's basically a chakra meditation. So you can think of terms in chakras. If that term is too much, it's nerve plexuses. You have a nerve plexus here, at the base of your spine. You have the sacral plexus, the solar plexus, the gastric plexus is the name of the nerves. A bunch of neurons in your heart. So if you happen to be hanging out with us here and energy centers or chakras doesn't resonate, no big deal. Bringing attention to these different parts of our spine, different parts of our nervous system. So starting with the root, starting with the first center, base of the spine, and just give some attention. You can, on the inhale, contract the muscles, and the exhale, relax the muscles. And so we're just going to take a quick trip through all of these. This can be a nice, like, long meditation, and just giving a few breaths to each center is a really nice way to land back in the body. So one more breath to the first center. Feel free to sigh on the exhale, the shaking. Bring in the voice, vagus nerve. And now breathe into the second center, just below the belly button and on the sacrum and back. And you're just giving some attention, giving some energy, giving some love and gratitude for this miracle we call the body. Imagining the energy center, the nervous system, balancing. And move your attention up to your third center, your solar plexus, aka your gastral plexus, just below the sternum. Moving into the heart. Moving into the throat, fifth center. The sixth center, right between your ears, the third eye, the pineal gland. And then your seventh center, top of the head, crown chakra, pituitary gland. Sensing all the seven main centers down the central channel of the body. Imagine them all balanced, all aligned, all emitting healthy signals into your tissues. And to finish here, introducing the idea of the microcosmic orbit from Qigong, of taking a breath in, drawing energy from your perineum, and imagine it travels up the back of your spine as you inhale to the top of your head. And then as you exhale, you imagine the energy going down the front of your body all the way to the root. Inhale up the back of the spine to the top of the head. Exhale down the front. If you want, you can use your hands. So I can like give a little from my sacrum up and then pushing down. We're not trying to force anything, not trying to make anything happen. Think more yielding, allowing, opening. So shaking is one of my favorite simple movements that you can layer a lot of different things into. So we've done different like nature, landscape visualizations from here, different creation or manifestation type practices from here. So shaking, really, really good thing for the fascia, really good thing for the brain, good thing to release stress, tension from the body. And I find it just works so much better when paired with fascial maneuvers. All right, let's start to move on here, but I'm gonna count from 10 to 0, and you can decide if you wanna go all out for 10 counts, or if you wanna slowly fade it out. So wherever your energy's at for now, here we go for 10, 9, whatever you're doing, let that breath go, make a sound. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just take a moment to pause where you are, drop any tension, and find that standing meditation posture again. String on top of the head, tongue to the roof of the mouth, start of a smile. Shoulders are relaxed, ever so slightly back and down. Slight tuck of the tail, relaxed abdomen, sensing aliveness in your hands and feet, breathing through all of your skin and fascia, sensing the very start of a smile. From here, start to bring attention to your spine. We'll go into a little spine improvisation. I'll be giving some cues along the way, but the main parameter here is to keep life, keep movement in your spine. Listen to your intuition for what intensity, what movements, what angles. And since we just went through the different energy centers, can layer that practice in too. So imagine those 7 centers are aligned when we're standing up. So let's keep them not aligned for this part. Constantly all centers, all vertebrae moving. So the spine is the main priority here. We're going to keep 90% plus attention on the spine. And if you want to add things, you can start to think about weight shifting in the legs, bringing the hip low, and starting to find articulations in the fingers, hands, wrists. And if at any point there's too many cues, it feels overwhelming, no big deal. Take what's useful, disregard what's not, and just try to find some enjoyment. Kinesiophilia, the love of movement. Maybe that made my 2025 word of the year. Just like popped into my head when I was thinking in the Fighting Monkey workshop. What's like the main thing I'm trying to get across? What's like the end goal? It comes back to physical freedom, inner freedom, and just falling in love with movement. Because when you love it, you don't need to rely on discipline to practice. It just happens much more because you know you're going to feel good. All right, a little spine warm up. Let's chill the spine for a minute and bring some attention into the hands again. So I mentioned this earlier, but really notice all of the different little articulations you can do with the fingers and wrists and hands. So there's so much you can do and how they relate to each other. And this level of detail, this type of articulation, hands and wrists. So many different possibilities. Imagine those possibilities, those options continue up your forearm to your elbow and all the way up to your shoulder. You can imagine, instead of having, a bone here and two bones here, you have a bunch of vertebrae, your spine arms, your sparms. And notice a little imagination game creates a different experience, different sensations to play with. So we have all these options from fingertips to shoulders. And start to let those options pass into the spine. So sending some energy from the hands into the spine, and from the spine out to the hands, perhaps. But just a few more minutes here of playing with this idea of our sparms, our spine arms, our spine that can wave, circle, and spiral. That can be enough. And if you want to add one more thing, you can think about your splags as if there were vertebrae all down from your hip to your toe. And you could have all of those same options in your hands, even in your legs. Take a moment to connect to the love of movement. You don't need to make anything happen here. Sometimes simple, subtle, small can be the most enjoyable, what the system really is asking for. Just a little bit longer here. So some of this stuff we've been playing with it for the last few minutes. I might put in the layering category, kind of Gaga inspired. Gaga's a movement language from Ohad Naharin that is very much on the feel of it, the somatics of it. There's no mirrors, don't care about the look, all about the feel. So it's feel really, really good until finding fascial maneuvers. I think I said Gaga was my favorite way to really warm up and get into my body. So maybe it's a close second or tied for first, depending on the day. But a simple thing you can think of there. This one of the first cues is bring movement everywhere in your body. So constantly fingertips to toes, everywhere in between, head, spine, tail, everything moving. And they use the term describing curves. Small curves, big curves. Curves with the back of your neck, curves with your elbows, ankles, ribs. The space behind your left ear. And so that, just getting the body in movement all over, such a nice way to reset the system and can truly be a nice warm up and open up for whatever practice, dance or otherwise, I want to go into from there. And if you've been doing it with me, that's great. Doing it without music is a challenge. And if you can do it without music, awesome. It's just so much better than when you have the music. But you shouldn't need the music in order to have a good movement improvisation experience. All right. All right, I need to start picking some greatest hits here from my list, or else we're going to be here for like 5 hours. So I want to go into a little mobility stuff from here. And let's start off with a classic loaded progressive stretching. So this one isn't new. I do have a few little new variations on it, but this one was taught to me as the most effective isolated hamstring exercise as far as getting mobility. For those that don't know, I used to play hockey and do some triathlons. My flexibility was here, nowhere near touching my toes. I realized that it was going to be a hard life if I kept up that way. So I got obsessed with mobility. And this is no problem, like first thing in the morning. One of the top things that got me there was the single-legged morning. And if you've done this before, stay tuned because I've got a little extra thing that'll up the challenge. So let's step on our right foot, and then I'm going to lightly use my toe on my left side just for balance. I'm not trying to put any weight into this here. I'm going to arch my back, so I create a little antenna here. My pinky is on my sacrum, this is on my lower back. So we want to keep the arch the whole time. If I start to neutral or round my spine, no good. So I'll show the movement first. Simple as this. You want to see how little you can move your torso in order to feel the stretch in the hamstring. So people want to do more, so they start to round so they can get all the way down here. No need to do that. It's not helpful. So step your right foot, find your little antenna back here, arch the back, and then hinge at the hips, folding down. Find that stretch in the back of the leg, and then come back up. Minimizing weight in the left leg. Going back and forth. And a good starting formula for loaded progressive stretching is I do 10 repetitions with a 10-second hold on the last one. So today we'll do a slightly shorter version of that because this will make you really sore if you haven't done it before. Let's hold on this last one. Arch the back even more. Try to unweight your supporting toe even more. And stand on up. All right, so that's the classic. Let's do the other side and then we'll show the variation. Woo, getting warm. Left leg, this knee is locked out. If I'm feeling a pain stretch in the back of the knee, give a little micro bend to the knee. So grab your little antenna here, arch your back, bow down to the mobility gods, going back and forth, only as much as you need to forward to feel the stretch. So I can fold right in half. My body goes down to 90 degrees-ish. When I started this, I was up here, less than 45 degrees, still getting benefit. We're going to hold this next one down, arch the back even more, push the ground away, lighten that big toe. If you really want to challenge, you can balance. But don't counterweight this. And come on out. So we don't counterweight because this is more of a balance thing. We want to create this weird position where this foot is just floating and I'm bowing down because that requires me to use some strength to get out of the position. All right, so if you want to turn this up to 11 here, we'll only do a few. So go back to the first side. So here's my favorite variation, the thing I think works the best for this. Arch the lower back, use the big toe for support on the way down, find that end range of motion. Now you're going to shift 100% of weight into that leg, lifting up this toe, the support toe, and rise up from there. So I use the big toe just for balance on the way down. I find that end range of motion, and then I lift up the foot to come back up. Let's just do one more on the side, going down. Lift up this foot and come on up. So it requires a lot of work. I was originally taught this by balancing the whole time. But I find if you're too focused on the balance, you can't get fully into the stretch. So finding this hybrid version will make your hamstring sore. If you're doing this for the first time in a while or ever, You'll likely feel sore tomorrow, like you lost some range of motion. That's good. That's a sign it's going in the right direction. Counterintuitive a bit. Let's go to the second side. Keep that leg straight. Arch the back, come on down, using the toe for balance. Find that end range. Slowly lift off. Keep the back arched, coming up. And back down again. So staying super active the whole time, finding that end range of motion, then turning it into balance plus strength, hovering my foot roughly where I would be standing underneath my own shoulders. Cool. Hamstring flexibility is one of the biggest limiting mobility factors. You start to open that up, everything else starts to work better. So I'm gonna think out loud for a minute here. The question that just came to mind is, how can I turn that single-legged morning into a fascial maneuver? So I'm gonna work this out on the spot here for a minute. So let's go to this first spot. And let's see, if I would go down to make it a fascial maneuver, I pull my spinal pelvic lock. I could wrap my arms around myself here to use that to rotate. So counter rotation is one of the main principles we're looking for here. So I think what'll work is keeping this support. I'm going to take this is my right leg, with my opposite hand. I'll bring across my body, and I'll take my right hand around my back to take out the slack. So I'm going to rotate my body around to the right. My head's going to go to the left, and then I'll do my single-legged mornings from there. I can do them in the same way, like going down and then finding the balance. Woo. Yeah, that's a lot. Other options, I could take that supporting foot, step it across. Not crazy about these hands. Let's try the anti-gravity hands. So interlace the fingers, and then can I rotate from here? Oh. Nah, not crazy about that either. Let's see, I was doing this before. Let's see if we rotate the spine away. So I'll take my left hand behind, my right hand across, and twist my body that way. Spine's going left, so head's gonna go right. Single leg good morning from there. Let's find that end range of motion and do one stage breath. Rotate deeper, full lungs. Exhale. Good, let's come on up. Go for the walk. Notice how that feels. That was not for beginners. This one here, that thought was to try to model the kind of improvisational or research aspect of this. So you take the principles, I've been finding old movements I enjoy, and how can I make them a fascial maneuver? It's the game I've been playing. So let's do our second side. Permission to explore. You're not gonna mess anything up, you're good. Let's see. We step the right leg over. And then what do we decide worked best? Left hand across the body. I'm going to grab my ribs this time and pull myself a little bit deeper. My right hand, I'm going to reach behind myself for torque. Body's going right, head's going left. Spinal pelvic lock in, keeping the back arched as I go in and out of the position. Trying to keep the weight in my left leg. Just going in and out of the position, exploring the sensations. Now find that end range of motion, arch the back even more, rotate deeper. One stage breath here. Big inhale through the mouth. More, rotate deeper. Exhale. Good, come on out. All right. Take a moment, grab a drink of water if you need to. We're gonna do a little more mobility. You can always come back to this recording. I'm having fun. It's a beautiful day out. It's warm though. It's a good problem to have. For me personally right now. I'm not speaking to climate change. All right, so I'm gonna do a little in the deep squat. So you can do this like sitting on like a yoga block or something. So some options. Yoga block, you can roll up a mat and place it underneath your heels. You can also lean back against a wall. So do what you need to do to make this position accessible. You can also do these just sitting in a chair. It'll be a slightly different thing. So go as wide as you need to. Actually, let's sit on the ground first. Just real quick, let's do a little ankle torque, because the ankles are the biggest limiting factor for me in this deep squat. I grew up playing ice hockey. My feet were in boots. They did not dorsiflex very much. So let's do something nice for the ankles before we do the squat routine, part of the squat routine. So I'm gonna take my right, I'm gonna counter rotate, so twisting in opposite directions. So reach behind here, grab, twist, and then pull, like I'm trying to pull on a tight compression stocking. And then point and flex your foot, and then start to move it in circles. Change direction. I lost the grip a little bit, so I just regrip, pull it again. So twisting and pulling, and then moving, breathing. Good, good, good. For contrast, let's stand up and go for the walk and just notice, whew, I got two different ankles right now. All right, let's balance this out. Second side. Grab from back, squeeze and twist, opposite directions. Pull on that compression stocking, try to push your foot through. Point, flex, make circles, move it around slowly. And let's take some big breaths here while we do that. Good. Stand on up. Take a few steps. All right. So do what you need to do to find a deep squat or be seated. And we're going to start with the spiral push. So I'm going to take my right hand to the inside of my right knee. I'm going to take my left hand and just get it out of the way behind myself, so I can put it behind my back, between the shoulder blades. I reach all the way around to my other leg. That works for my long arms. So we just don't want it hanging out here. So take out the slack from this arm one way or another. Now I'm going to push this to the back diagonal. And as I do it, my elbow is going to come forward. I start coming into internal rotation. My head is looking to the right because my spine is here to the left. And go in and out of this range of motion 6 times. So I'm working my hips, knees, ankles. My spine is twisted. My shoulders are working. Neck rotated. Now hold out. Find that end range of motion that is pain-free. And let's do 6 big breaths in and out the mouth, then 1 stage breath. Here we go. Stage breath in, more, all the way in. Push deeper into the position and hold. Exhale. Slowly come on out. Stand up. Go for the walk. Maybe feel the difference side to side on your arms. So this is taking Ido Portal's squat routine 2.0 video, popularized like 12 years ago, and turning it into fascial maneuvers. Second side. I'm going to take my left hand inside of the knee, my right hand duck it behind yourself somewhere. Now push out as you spiral your arm internally rotated, shoulder going forward. And do what you can that is pain-free. Do not push into pain. If it's a little like discomfort or tension or emotional pain, it's a different thing. You'll be okay. But acute, sharp physical pain, nope, don't do it. Last one, push it out. Find that end range of motion. I'm still trying to activate my spinal pelvic lock, even in the squat. 6 big breaths in and out the mouth. Stage breath in, more, rotate deeper. Exhale. Good. Slowly come on out. Whew. A little lightheaded moment as the blood rushes back. All right. So let's do like 1, maybe 2 more things for the squat. Then I need to take a 20-second break to go get some water. I forgot to bring it outside. And then I got a few more complexity things I want to show, and we'll see. If any requests, feel free to type them in the chat. I'll come check that in a bit. Let's come on down into the squat, and let's find that anti-gravity occiput scoop. So interlace the fingers and go to the back of the neck and scoop up the skin and fascia towards the back of your head. From here, I'm going to take my right elbow to the inside of my knee, just like where we put our hand before. But now it's the elbow, and I'm going to reach my left shoulder towards the sky. And then I'm going to exhale and bring that shoulder across my body towards my opposite side toe, left shoulder towards right toe. And then inhale, reach it up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Again. Down. Stay up this last one. Let's do 3 big breaths in and out the mouth, then 1 stage breath. Keep looking up at your left elbow, spinal pelvic lock in. Drive your knees outward. 3 big breaths. Stage breath in. More. Rotate deeper. Exhale. Good. So let's exit the squat like we do for anti-gravity. So head low, hips high, try to pull your head off. A little weight shifting side to side. And then slowly roll up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Finishing with a little back bend. And let it go. Take a few steps, let that integrate. I think every once in a while I'll be doing fascial maneuvers and I'll come out of one, just like profound relaxation. All right. Last one for the squat. Let's do the sky reaches on the other side. So interlace, back of the neck, scoop up. Take that left elbow to the inside of your left knee. Inhale as you raise up your right elbow. Exhale, right elbow towards your left toe. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Hold here. 3 big breaths in and out the mouth. Try to take your elbows further away from each other. Spinal pelvic lock in. Stage breath. More. More. Reach more. Exhale. Good. Exiting like anti-gravity. Let's just take a moment to fold again here. Tuck the chin, tuck the tail, compress yourself into the tiniest little ball. And then bring your hips up, keep your head low. A little weight shift, side to side. And while you're here, just take a little research moment. See if you can take your right elbow and place it somewhere on your right leg and use that to open up your spine a little bit more. You do the same thing on the left side. But again, it's another instance of, oh, we're already here. I know the principles. What happens if I bend and straighten my knees a little bit? How can I find a little bit more torque and leverage to open up my fascia? And then we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Little back bend. Good. All right. We're gonna take a 30-second break while I go get some water. I have no idea who's here on YouTube Live or who shows up live. So if you're here and you want to say, who you are, where you're from, go for it. And yeah, if there's any requests, and then we'll do the last section. So be right back.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know you were out there. I saw like a person. I was like, ah, Jesus.
Sorry, you caught me startling my housemate as I walked back in. All right, hour and 8 minutes. 1:08, that's a good number. Let's see, what else we want to do to finish this session today? So imagine there's a point on top of your head. It can be right between your ears, it can be your whole head, but you have one point of awareness on your head, and then you have points of awareness in your feet as well. It can be right in the ball of the foot, it can be the whole foot. What I want you to do is imagine this is making a triangle. So connected from your head to your feet and then foot to foot. And notice, I can make a very skinny triangle, I can make a more balanced triangle. And then visualizing it, like drawing constellations. This is called constellation points technique. And the basic premise is I can take a certain amount of points. We'll start with 3. You can always simplify it to even 2. Let's play with a triangle today. And I'm visualizing it. I like to pick my favorite color. So I'm imagining a green triangle. And look at all of the different ways this triangle changes shape. I can make a very tiny triangle, bring my head close. But the point of this is to shift your awareness as a way to evoke new movement patterns, new options, new ways to map out the relationships in your body. Again, I'm just going to introduce a few things here because we could play with this for, a year straight. There would still be more to do. But I'll show a few of my favorite triangles and then give you the principles so you can play with this anytime. If I'm ever feeling like a little stale at a dance or something, I'll pull out constellation points in my mind. So we have this first one, head to feet. Let's do now hands. So I have a point in each hand and then a point in my center. So it can be your hara, lower dantian, however you want to visualize your sacrum, your true center. And so now, small triangle. How big can you make the triangle? How obtuse and acute angles. Whew, high school geometry flashbacks. Geometry was really the only math I liked. So mapping relationships between my hands. We played with these details earlier. Keeping aliveness in my hips. Noting even like subtle small things make a difference. So those are 2 intro constellation points to play with. You can pick any 3 points. I could do my hands and my head and have more of an upper body improvisation. Endless fascination and curiosity. You can pick more than 3 points. I could have both hands, both feet in my head. So this little, is it a pentagram when it's 5? So imagining how hands are connected to each other, to the feet, to the head. And if you want to run with this, I'm feeling inspired to do a deeper dive into this work. You can start to pick stranger points, like right here. It's like my 7th rib on the lateral side, and then the pointy part of my hip bone on the other side, and then my ring toe. So now I have this constellation. So a way to learn the body, a way to evoke new ideas and qualities. Last thing I'll say about it is you can also pick an external point. So say I did the simplest one, a 2-pointer. Top of the head and tail, classic. Relationship between head and tail, super important. But I could pick a spot on the floor. I could pick a spot, if there was a ceiling in a dance studio. And so I'm imagining the points on my body to each other and to this point that I've chosen. So now, not only am I thinking about the relationships of movement in my own body, I'm also relating to the environment more, dancing with the space. All right. Well, I've enjoyed being blinded by the sun on this beautiful December 31st, 2025. Yeah, as always, if there's any questions, reach out. mixedwomenarts.com is where you can find us. We are opening up a school community, SKOOL, and I'm super excited about it. So, a lot of good stuff in the works right now. And yeah, just circling back to the fascia maneuvers. I'm creating a 5-day free your fascia challenge as a way to onboard this material, really integrate it into your life, have a good experience with it. Because people can have like a good experience, one session or a workshop, but consistently for 5 to 7 days can make such a difference. I got a large handful of testimonials of people on day 6 of a 30-day program being like, I feel 1,000% better. I didn't know I could feel this good or be not feel this much stress in my life with all this stuff going on. So profound results are available. It takes consistency. I was thinking today, if there was like one habit I could install in people, it would be frequency, movement frequency, hands down. So we are such a de-moved and under-moved culture right now. Like technology is eliminating all need for us to move, but in order to movement is life. It comes with being human, and there's going to be serious consequences for lots of sedentary behavior. Yeah, Ido Portal was, one of my first movement inspirations, influences, teachers. I was hardcore in that world for over 7 years. It still impacts how I practice. I've mentioned it multiple times in the session. And Ido has this this saying, and it's a little outdated and gendered, of course, but complexity is king, volume is queen, and intensity is the prince. So complexity, king, volume, queen, intensity, the prince. He says you need all three to run the kingdom, but complexity is the key, the most important variable. An idea of that, do I do a squat, or can I do a squat where I'm all of this different movement, where I have that option there? So yeah, just wanted to leave with that thought. If in his model, complexity being king, volume being the queen, and intensity being the prince, I would say movement frequency is even more foundational to all that. So in that model, movement frequency is God. It's the air we breathe. So I'll leave it there for now. Thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking around to the end. If you have any questions, reach out, and I hope to move with you again soon. Whenever you're watching this, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and wishing you happy, healthy movement into this next year. See you soon.